Hello, guys. Thank you for being here. Once again, we return to a mystery of life of supermodel being abused. So many of you never heard of this story. It's pretty secluded, like somehow it's uh, undercover. The story about abuse of supermodel Eloise Eloise Pinto Fontes, that was disturbing few times in her life. Disappearance 2018, Supermodel New York 2019, and then showing up in Brazil for the uh, biggest time being disappeared for the third time. So we are going to check this story as well, follow the psychic tarot explanation about her life. This lady is so young. I hope there is a hope. I hope there is a positive outcome in her life because she was found. So there is a happy end in this story. But just as I name it a part five, do check out the other supermodels, weird stories, true crime stories. We have four widows about supermodels before being abused, literally Soho suicide, jump over the sky towers from New York of two supermodels, Miss Universe of America, famous celebrity supermodel that was Nina Ricci, a perfume ambassador as well, the similar and friend of her, done the same kind of um, the end of the life back in East Europe. And these are, I think it's fourth or fifth part of the widow of supermodel being abused as well. Check out the story of Eloisa Fontes' life. She's still young, and how was her involvement in being a supermodel, and as well being abused from her boyfriend. These are the nice dating tips as well for the young girls. So it's very interesting. Whoever is interested about modeling as well, about having dilemma how to recognize abuser, boyfriend, these are the advices for you. So I'm going to hashtag as well women empowerment here. So I hashtag the sex trafficking signs as well. I was a part of the lecture protecting the women human rights, and we had the serial of the sex trafficking as well. Um, Education courses for the youngsters. And here it is. I'm going to hashtag as well women empowerment. One second. Here it is. Let's go back to the story of Eloisa. Guys, I'm going to do the mix of the tarot while I'm channeling about her life. So I'm going to check up her karmic connection with her boyfriend. Is turned to be a father of her child, with whom she was few years. And as well, I'm going to check up the energy of her super modeling agency. Uh, did they solve her out? Definitely, there is a lot of abuse from whoever she was dealing with in this karmic cycle in her life. I hope it's going to stop with uh, with the last one story that was the most disturbing because she disappeared till now three times. So let's see for the start. Brazilian model Eloisa Pinto Fontes, who was reported missing from New York 2019, was found alone and disoriented in Rio slum in Brazil recently, according to the Daily Mail. The model, who once graced the cover of magazines including Elle, Grazia, Glamour, was found in the Morro do Cantogallo favela in Rio, like slum of the Rio de Janeiro, in the southeast of the country on October the 6th. So this news is literally from 2020. So she was disappeared, as you see, more than 1 year. After 1 year, she was found in one of the favela in Rio. Fontes was found by a local neighborhood watch team. The model was reportedly spotted wandering around, shirtless, so she was topless, and shoeless, so she was almost nude, for 2 days. Fontes was carrying nothing except a black rucksack containing some documents. First, she didn't want, as she was so confused. She didn't speak. She was just holding that little black sack that you see there, on this photo on the cover, where she's in a yellow shirt. I guess the policeman, when they approached her, literally they gave her the shirt as well. That was, she was only having that little bag. What was inside of her sack, in that black rucksack, was just her photos, like she was carrying the portfolio, and that was just something that she never wanted to give to anybody. The documents that she had in her roster, the paperwork reportedly compromised of her contract with the International Modeling Agency, references from the international photographs. Reports state that Fontes vanished from New York earlier in 2019, was found 5 days later. So that was the first time she disappeared. So I'm going to check the energy of that first time when she disappeared, who was involved. So 5 days, 5 days later, I just as well have, I know this is specifically one of the texts that I'm reading. I do remember that she disappeared the year before, so it was like 5 days disappearance of her. And again, being disoriented, is that a mind control or having the roofie effect? If they put her something in the drink during some of the parties, and seems like she was found after 5 days on the street in the city of White Plains, 30 minutes drive from the center of Manhattan. She was visibly disoriented when she was first spotted after going missing. So it seems like it was, I just heard agency and teamwork. Agency and teamwork. They were literally putting her traps, something into the drink as well. This was like a group seduction, sexual abuse. Yes, with a young female models, handing her from one to another person, literally handing her from one to another person and being abused with some kind of a stimulus, that little she could be powerless and not remember anything that happened for all these 5 days of her disappearance. At that first disappearance, 5 day disappearance in New York, was involved her boyfriend. Give me more. Was it involved her boyfriend or her husband? Give me more. Who was involved in this first disappearance and 5 days disappearance in New York of Eloisa? Wow. Work. Just do checkup, guys. It's a work related. I said on the start, I just heard agency and a teamwork. And why nobody research this agency, why nobody in United States, as a civilized country, don't research and close that fuck agency, because they're abusing so many girls and it's involved trafficking the young girls, work related, team up, sexual abuse. Where is the card? Look at putting something in the drink, using the young women, almost like a pedogate. Yes, sexual abuse for the drink. So that was the first thing. Explain her disappearance first 5 days. Again, meanwhile, a Global magazine reported that she decided to move back to Brazil after she was confused with her being powerless to remember what happened 5 days. She got literally scared of whatever happened in New York. So she decided to move back to Brazil earlier this year, 2020, and settled in Rio de Janeiro looking for a work. She hadn't informed family about where she was, and they couldn't make any contact with her. As well, she was so comfortable. She loved her job. Still, she was in modeling. Um, However, one of the modeling agency they got in touch with Eloise Fontes has revealed that their organization agreed to help her find work as her career had come to a halt following her disappearance. She reportedly told the agency that she may also be traveling to Germany and New York for work, besides expressing her interest in finding a job in her native country, Brazil. So there is a contract. Wow, look at wow, there is a sign that she was as well nagged and judged from the model agency why she stopped, why they cannot, because every agency, if she's dealing with the supermodel and get in touch with the model, they want to grab and literally abuse her, like financially, like a source, and everything returned what was in the past as well. Look at under the company name. Wow. And there is a sign brought to the light that whatever that as well, she wanted to somehow handle her own truth, bring to the light what was happening with her. So that was her period of confuse. I'm going to follow my own truth. I want to find out what happened with me. And as well, I'm putting on a hold my work with as a model because something was wrong there. Something happened during me working as a model, and as well things like as well. Look at she was trying to manifest who is from this friends network, from the business friends, fake friends network. She felt that injustice, as you see, it's reverse justice here. So literally like she didn't want to express to a media because this was literally seems like she was feeling disappointment with the agency and circle of friends. And again, seems like everything restarted. Look at the card of Ace of Wands. This cycle didn't finish of mind control and being dragged and abused again. Look at it's returned to that same thing, being abused sexually, but then as well left in total disorientation, like mental state of being literally fragile because again trapped somebody literally wanted just to abuse her body and literally the same people they literally use it. Wow. There is a proof for that. There is definitely a proof that this was just sex trafficking. And as well, it seems like it's literally totally injustice because as well, she didn't have anything to do with the resort of money that they were using all these agencies by taking her and pulling her as well. Like literally, I see people from abroad coming, wow, over the internet, choosing her body like a piece of meat, choosing unfortunately, but she didn't get zero money from this. And there is a proof in this agency that they're literally putting her, exposing to the foreigners, and being exposed to um, as online supermodel, like um, called out for escort purpose for the foreigners, and literally she goes out with literally not having idea where she was there. This is she didn't have a zero money from this. She was just exposed in abuse from the even local agency last time when she disappeared. So this time when she as she remembered didn't inform her family where she was going to work as well, she was chased again from the local models agency. Then suddenly they reported to the magazine that she's living in a different part of Brazil. One of the modeling agency got in touch with her, and as well they were trying to pull her back to the carrier. But again, how they're pulling her to a carrier when as well literally the model agency Joy did not finalize contract with Fontes before pandemic hits. So I'm going to ask who is this model agency Joy because she wanted to work right 1 second in her native country. That was her statement. So let's see. Model agency Joy, did they do the sex trafficking of Eloisa? Model agency Joy. Wow. Yes, betrayal. Look at betrayal for the work, because as well, like, look at, they're teaming up with somebody from abroad. I said this two times, repeating, somebody from abroad coming as a part of team up, and um, they're literally selling her out. And this is the same cycle repeating, karmic, like before. Like, I mean, can they give a break to this girl? Like, these people who, I mean, they these all people in human trafficking, in sex trafficking, they should burn out. Before she vanished, the model lived with her husband and fellow model Andre Birleanul. I'm trying to read Romanian. It's, this guy is Romanian, Russian model, and seems like at the age of 18 she met him. He was 34. He groomed her, and literally he was literally um, got married with him, and as well he was in charge of her business, and he was taking care of her, and they were living in Sao Paulo. They got a daughter as well. Everything was super fast. He was in charge of her finance as well. Like I just heard, like a pimp. That was his own mind. Andre Birleanu was financially abusing her. Yes, as well. There is a proof for that. Again, as well, from the court case later on when she disappeared and he took out the custody of their 7 years old daughter. Seems like as well he abused her even over the court, because he never paid the money for taking care of her daughter. Like, he literally has zero bills. He just have a financial abuse from her, but he never invested a penny into this relationship, not even in the child. And just not to pay the bills of alimony, he took care of the 7-year-old daughter for the court. And there is a judgment call later on, because eventually, because of her disappearance, she's penniless, not anymore supermodel, like lost supermodel, jobless supermodel. And because of that, court give him a custody of the 7 years old. Again, is Andre, her husband, when she wanted to divorce, is Andre Birleanu involved in her trafficking, disappearance? Wow. There is a releasing a bird and a proof that he done this more than once. High priestess, a Wheel of Fortune, is telling that he done this and he was faking, and as well, he was just postponing her to show up at the court. What I understood as well, literally in the period of uh, this happened. Her last disappearance in the period when she was supposed to be shown on the court as a mother to fight for the custody of her 7 years old daughter. And one second. Eloise Fontes stayed with her friend when she first arrived in Rio, eventually moved in with her then boyfriend, with whom the romance lasted for about 4 months. And it's very interesting because that boyfriend of her, 4 months boyfriend that she was trying to have as a freshly divorced, was somebody who was working in the police. But this relationship was short, like only 4 months. Was Eloisa Fontes mentally healthy when she was 4 months with this policeman? It was just that they were not compatible. It was just releasing the burden of this didn't work, this relationship as well. Seems like there was always a money issue. This guy wanted as well. Again, another karmic cycle. Like Andre, who wanted to abuse her, use her as she's supermodel, she can have money. This time, she really a second time hit again the same type of man who want financially to abuse the woman. And there was a betrayal because she's not working. This guy was stingy, and he thought everything was because of the business, and she didn't want to work. That was her mental state of break, having a gap, not working, being jobless. and having no obligation of working. And literally because of that, he expected being with her that she's going to start working and there will come a extra cash. That was on his mind. And literally this guy is literally again a second time pimp like Andre, just not called Andre. This guy was a policeman, but he was having the same spirit. This is really gross. How many men she has to have a karmic cycle that they want financially to abuse her? It seems both of them. So let me see. What was the karmic cycle Eloisa having with this 4 months boyfriend back in Brazil that they say it's a policeman? It was just friendship as well. She was having some kind of not trusting him, paranoia, because still she was having these fears whatever happened in previous years. Guys, don't forget there was a situation happening in New York of her disappearance 2 times. I'm not remembering where she is. And uh, as well seems like he was selfish, stingy, and that was a breakup because he wanted to use her. It was just a damaged good. This is a karmic connection. Uh, it seems as well her friend, was it her friend that literally was involved in introducing her, that she trusted just being recommended from her friend for staying in Rio and moving to this boyfriend, but seems like being pushed from her friends. Okay, I trust it's a friend of my friend, but as well romance is not lasting because this guy wanted to abuse her financially. He was not ready to be protector of this fragile woman. Totally a new type of pimp. Like same like Andrea. I just heard same like Andrea wanted just financially to abuse her and sexually. Again, there is that mental fear and paranoid state inside of the mind of Eloisa. Everything started from that phase in New York when she disappeared and she couldn't recall what was happening with her. But again, I'm going to ask, was Andre, what was the karmic cycle with Andre, her husband? Eloisa, karmic cycle with Andre. Wow. She thought she was in love, that they are destined to be, but as well, she was literally trapped. She was a slave for him. So look at these cards. On her side, there is a card of pure love. On other side, there is he's abusing her idea of we are Twinflame, but trapping her, using her as a slave. And this is literally a fake representation. Somebody who manipulates you to think that you're twin flames, but then turn that you're just a slave of this slave of love. It's interesting. It's interesting. That's what I just thought it will show up as well. Let me see more. Give me more. Explain me. Was again Andre, her ex-husband Andre, Eloise's ex-husband Andre was the one who was starting this mind control of her with the drugs. Yes, there is a proof. As well, these drugs to manipulate her to be a sex traffickant with some kind of drugs and being powerless and dumb, so they could manipulate her body for the sexual abuse, and he could have that um, material use from that, renting her body. It took her off to a literally a darkness state because these drugs that he was Andre putting her literally took her to a totally paranoid state and being lost. Like it was like a bad effect of the sex drug of this roof effect. As well, seems like as well that just do check up guys. Again, this is about again sex trafficking involving um, sex tourists coming and she seeing her sex tourists from abroad traveling again like in before. Look at guys, remember there were traitor for the lover and literally abusing her for the money as well coming from abroad, and here we have the same. Look at, there is a proof of this dark energy of sexual abuse for the people who are traveling. Just this is typical of sex slavery that I see, and it's involving like the international chain of uh, escort, and seems so as well that she was totally as a young person, like not being adult even. When she entered into the marriage with Andrea, she was age of 18, and she was as well the year after Mama. And again, he was having a supermodel career, I do believe, from the age of 16. So there, with her being called supermodel and having it in portfolio, they Andrea saw her as a perfect target, like a celebrity supermodel that could be in chain of sex trafficking, then he could have this money from that money from exposing her online to us people from abroad who are traveling just to see her. But whenever they use the drugs to literally tame her spirit, because definitely she was against being involved personally into this being escort, so they have to literally every time to literally put her in that powerless state, and that brought up inside of her. There is a proof that there was some kind of things, medicament inside of her body, and that proof brought the darkness, uh, having this like a roof effect over her body, is to her to a totally split up personality. Again, being lost, not remember where is her house, totally being damaged, would return back from this kind of sex parties, not kind of parties. Yes, definitely. Once more, Frida, Jenny. Sorry, guys, my battery. Is it this most important now? So yes, again, is I'm going to ask, did Andre, her husband, done on purpose her did Andrea drag her, Eloise drag Eloise on purpose to get the custody of the yes. The answer is yes. Look at the Wheel of Fortune. Yes. He just wanted her. Yes, that's a secret, but there is a proof for that. It's so obvious that he was faking, and he done that just for her not to show up, not to show, literally to mess up with her mind and schedule, literally not to show up on the court. So she couldn't fight. She would be in front of the court unresponsible, like a drug user, and she couldn't be in charge of her baby, and he wouldn't have to pay the custody, right? He would be the one who is decent and showing up and taking care of the child. And yes, at the age of 7, he took off officially a custody of over her. Again, I'm going to ask, is Eloisa going to see her baby daughter? And now it's teenager, probably, passing few years, young teenager. Is Eloisa going to take care of her daughter? I think yes. If it's the start of new love circle, there will be literally somebody who's going to protect her and bring the baby back to her. Wow. But literally, it needs her to as well have a team up with with the new kind of people, find a new type of job. That's what I think. Uh, uh, can her family, even if they are very poor, uh, it is shown that Eloisa has returned back to the inland of Brazil where her family is, and they're living literally in a house without the furniture. They're so poor and living a day by day, like as well the same way, same style she was living before. She was found as a model, and uh, can Eloisa bring back to this family her daughter? Somehow with the new options I see with a new protector, definitely I see that the new protector, new love will give her that kind of teaming up with the right legal stuff that they will fight for her baby to be brought. uh, Again, will we ever find the truth? Will be ever Andre, her ex-husband, exposed for drugging her? Because it's too late since. It was a teamwork with the agency for the sex abuse, uh, and it's too late because I mean they don't have a proof. They didn't search her blood. There is no proof that she was drugged, but definitely she was exposed. And nothing is to change because it was too late. Uh, Even if it's so obvious that he done this, that he was using her money all the time of their relationship as well, that he dragged her and to be exposed and far away from her child. It's so obvious. But again, Will Andre, very great question. Thank you for this question sent from Instagram babies. Thank you again. Will Andre Andre Birlanu will be exposed with a new lover as doing these terrible things, abusing. Wow. Again, there will be a proof with the new girlfriend. Andre Birlan will make mistake with the new girlfriend. Yes. And then he will be exposed because like karma is a bitch. If they is it because it was too late for taking care of finding the proof for Eloisa, injustice that he done towards Eloisa, his wife, first wife, there will be proof for the next victim of him. That's what I see. So the justice will be served through literally putting Andre in charge, feeling being guilty in front of the court because of the next lover that he's going to abuse. That's what I see. The truth is there, waiting for him to make mistake. That's what is the karma. And I hope again, like I said, that Eloise Pinto Fontes will find the new love, that she won't be anymore slave of the love, abused in prison of the love. And there is on the bottom another new cup of love that's waiting for her to be a real love. And everything before was just um, being fake and learning the lesson, karmic lesson with the first husband. And now being having a break from a modeling is crucial, and literally it takes time. It takes time. She needs to make a long break from this being hurt, and healing is needed as well. Gathering her mental strength. That's what I heard. It's time for silence, patience, take a long period. Um, but afterwards she will never release her dream as well. I heard as well she's still keen to modeling. That's what only she learned to work with, and she really love her modeling, and that being it's for her circle of friends, and modeling it's important, following her own dream it's important, and through the circle of her ex-friends, free of cups, she's going to meet that dream Twinflame energy, a new cup of love. Just it takes time, and that new man in her love will be a real love. That new man will be a pure love, and that will be a twin flame energy that will going to protect her, and uh, even bring that her child back to her mother, Eloisa. That's what we want for her, to find the love and to regather her daughter back to her. So, Eloisa, find the peace and strength, and good luck to you. And just be careful, all the young girls and all the young girls that want to be specifically supermodels in general, all the girls that they are checking the ads about being a supermodel, like even with the best official supermodel agency, you can get literally be in such a miserable position and even being killed. So do check up the first 3 4 videos of supermodel jumping over sky towers in New York, and do check out their destiny. while they wanted to cancel and run away from the supermodel agency and cut the ties of being a slave of and abuse from the agency. And in this case, for Eloisa, was the circle of teaming up with being abused for sex trafficking and plus officially her, what is worse, her boyfriend turned to a husband, was in charge of literally selling her out. So be careful, girls up there, and check out the dating tips and rest of my videos. Some of them there are for women empowerment, and that's what am I. More than 25 years working with women human rights and promoting everything against the sex trafficking, and as well working with orphans. And thank you in advance for paper donation, helping my good karma work back in Asia with the orphans. Kisses to all, peace and love, and check out the full album. Playlist Justice will be served with other interesting readings. Kisses to all.